So a special super thanks and level 1 membership combo here. And for this one, these guys, I know they probably use some really interesting tunings. But for this, I'm just going to try to keep it the most simple deviation from standard as I can. And it seems to me like a drop D tuning will work pretty darn well for this. And there's some parts of this where it's really just kind of like some bass going on, so I'll show you some of that. The initial bass line that happens there, you'll start it here, and this will work for, you know, a 4-string bass, and, you know, if you just want to play it on guitar too. So be here on the D string, we go 2 to 3, just kind of hammer it on, hit that a couple times, back to the 2, stay on that for a handful, something like that. Land on 3 of the A. Once more, maybe a few together. Land on the 2 of the low D now. Hit it once, a couple more. Right back to the 2 on the middle D, a couple more. Now we bounce between the 3 on the A, kind of like we usually would hit it once, a few. Down to the 2 again on the middle D, hit it once, couple, maybe 4 times. Back to the 3 again, same picking. And then up to the low 2nd fret on the D once, a couple times. And right back down to the middle D, 2, couple 2s. Okay, real interesting bass line there, so. Alright, and after that, when the guitar comes in, you're going to want a really good amount of gain, a whole bunch of reverb. It's just a real kind of like noisy thing going on there. This will kind of pick around with an F major 7 sus2, go into like a D sus vibe. Basically just pick through the 3rd fret on the low D, and then we'll hit the open G, open high E. Kind of pick through that a couple times just like that. And then hit the middle D, and there's a little hesitation. And then we just hit the open G, open E again. And then right through open D, open G, open E. Alright, so just really just changing the bass note and then hitting the open G, open E there. Alright, like I said, you want to slather on a whole bunch of reverb and gain there. And for, I guess you would call this like the main riff, like the verse riff maybe. It starts with kind of like the same F major 7 sus2, and I just do, this is really kind of where like the drop D comes in handy, because we'll want this F, big F power chord going on, and get like this sus2 and all that fun stuff. So 3 on the low D and A, 5 on the middle D. You can skip the G. If you're real cool, you could try to like do the open G on there, but it's not a huge deal because we're already kind of getting the G note there. So if you want to do an open G right there or just skip it, that's fine. Just keep it muted. And then the 5 on the B, open high E. Really want that like a high E octave going on because it really seems to cut through more than anything. And kind of focus more on that. Alright, and it's just kind of like 1, 2, 3. Alright, and then we'll shift to more like a C look. And all you really have to do is just take that 3 off the low D and just really focus on making sure the 3 on the A is the bass note, and just keeping the D string muted, and keep everything else the same. 5D, go ahead and mute the G, 5 on the B, open high E, kind of 1, 2, 1, 2, and then just right back to the F by just including the 3 on the low D now. Hit it once, a couple times. Something like that. And now we'll move to the second half of it where it's a D power chord look, and then with the A on top of it. So just do the open A and D, 2 on the G, 3 on the B, and then off to a quick A, kind of just A power chord. So open A, 2 on the D and G. All right, and then move over to just a big G power chord. So 5s on the low D, A, then open D and G under it, and then hit some like incidental notes like the open D and A there. All right, and then we'll do this bend, 2 of the G, release it. All right, so slowly. All right, and it kind of goes through that just the same way, but there's a little subtle time the second time through where instead of bending the 2 on the G, it bends the 5 on the D. All right, and then it just goes through it the same way as usual. We just do the bend on the 2. So just a little subtle thing there. But other than that, we'll get to, I guess maybe this is the bridge, but also seems to happen with the outro. So I guess you call this like the bridge bass outro thing. But new little bass line where we start at the 1 on the A, hit it, couple more, once more, slide it up to 5. All right, couple, slide that to 3, couple there, once more. And then 5 on the low D, couple more. All right, and that repeats a couple times. All right, and the guitar here, it's just doing feedback notes. So you can just kind of grab some with all the gain on if you can get the feedback going. Otherwise, it kind of seems to just be these 2 notes here, the 9 on the high E and the 10 on the B. So if you want to like kind of pick between those and just kind of let them ring, give them some bend and releases. Like I said, you'll just have the gain dumped on here so they're sustaining. So not a whole lot for the guitar to do there other than just kind of make some noise. And we'll get this bridge outro going on here, and it's kind of just like the bottom parts of the chords that we've been using, the major sus2 and all that stuff. So we'll hit like the just octaves here, G octaves and E octaves, 5 on the D with the open G, 5 on the B with the open E, and it kind of hits the G's, then the E's, and it'll just pick through them like that 4 times or so, and then it'll just start strumming them all together and hold that out for a few measures. And other than that, a lot of the first half will just kind of repeat again, and once you have that, you should be all set.